It's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long season. This is our first podcast slash interview after the AEP season. I've been gone for a while, folks. You guys have seen that I have not been uploading videos. So who else to bring on than the man himself, the sales director, regional sales director over at Physicians Mutual, straight out of Fort Worth, Texas. Andrew
Yeah,
Saul. Andrew Saul, what's going on, man?
dude, just super thankful to be here with you, man. Glad to run with you. And you're one of my favorite people.
Man, you know I feel the same about you, man. When we I think we had a special bond session. That sounds weird, but we had a special kind of. I already, we've already been knowing about each other, but at Utah and Seven Figure
It's a good word.
Summit,
We sh
man, we really you got me laughing the whole time, bro, and the funny topics we were talking about. And it's really funny is the people I like the most are the people I don't talk about insurance with. And I'm like, well, I need to get him on because he knows a lot about Medicare. I mean, the dude's been doing this for 10 years
Yeah,
and he has his famous Andrew Saul's Medicare Minute, which I love. I eat that stuff up because I have a low attention span
love it, bro.
and I have a low attention span and those are bars. And those are good. It's all good information for insurance agents that just need a quick minute to just know what's happening, right? So if you
Yeah,
guys haven't checked that out, add them on Facebook and you're gonna get some good information just randomly while you're scrolling. You'll just see them pop up, and all of a sudden it's gonna be talking about mental health during AEP. That was one that really resonated with me, right? Because a lot of people have been struggling with their health, mental health as well too, especially after this AEP. Goodness gracious. Like I
yeah.
can't believe I'm still like I love my hair. I can't believe it's not gone. You know what I mean?
Bro, it's a good word. Yeah, man. So AEP, especially for, some agents hibernate all year like a bear, and then they come out of their rest during AEP so that they can sling, a couple million in premium. Well, maybe most agents aren't that, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So they can make their 100, 150, $200,000 renewals for the year and they can go back and hibernate. But the problem is, especially if you've got a family and a young family at that who's not used to it, or if you got a spouse or children who are not in the industry that are not used to it, man, they don't understand. And there's this tension of maybe your spouse or your child or children feeling like you're punishing them, daddy's punishing them, or mommy's punishing them. And really, you're just trying to get that bread. You're just trying to make an income that would satisfy you. So there's this balancing act that has to be done from October through December. And most agents, and even speaking for myself, aren't really qualified to do that balancing act. We're really qualified to help you research what MA plan your physician is in network with. We're really qualified to help you understand MLRs on the Medigap side, but we're not always qualified to help capture the feelings of our loved ones and to fulfill their needs too. Because ultimately, for most people, I think family normally comes first for most people, other than maybe a select few people who are really given over to work and they give their life to it. And they can survive that way, which is not most people. Most people, you need family before work, right? So, yeah, AEP is that thing. And you're just now coming out of it. And maybe you got a little shell shocked. Maybe your family got a little shell shocked. So, learning to embrace your spouse, your children, your friends, your church, your community, wherever you've been ignoring, learning to re-embrace that in a way that reestablishes where you were before you got here.
Yeah.
And sometimes every year we have to do that again and again because we're not good at taking accountability
Mm.
for other people's emotions during AEP because we're so overwhelmed as it is.
Yeah.
Bro, you work a 14-hour day, and let's say you're a road warrior and you come home, you probably don't want to sit there and download or envelop all your family's emotions when you have so many you just experienced during the day. And
Yeah.
how many members, how many clients did you speak with, Andrew, that they poured their fears, their anxiety, their stress on you, and you had to eat it.
Yep.
You didn't get to pour it back on them, you just had to eat it. And now when you get home, you're probably doing, if you're not doing the same thing, pouring that out on your family,
Yeah.
you're sitting there with it just resting on you.
Yeah.
And that's not possible for most people. Most people can't carry that burden. You, number one, you weren't created to carry that burden, but most people they can't physically carry that burden.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people that I've seen. I mean, this year has just been I mean, try to post as much as I can, save your mental health and,
Oh,
really look at what's going on. I mean, we're in an industry where it's a what have you done for me lately industry, right? And there's a lot of,
good
you
word.
know, new agents coming in that are just crushing and, but the seasoned veterans and the people who have been doing this for more than 10 years, it does take a toll. I'll just be completely real with you, right? Um, so that I mean, I really did appreciate your post on that during AEP. I mean, again, it's a little bit late right now to talk about that, but you did have some good pointers about how to manage stress and all that during AEP. So yeah, I mean, it really, I mean, it's a balancing act, and also again with this year just being what it was. I mean, I feel like more people were going to the hospital, more people were going to urgent care than I've seen before, and I'm pretty tapped into what people are doing, and always want to check in with my people. And people were just tired. They were just tired this year, and I wanted to, just put a light on that, right? Because it's something that is not really talked about because again, it is a performance-driven industry, right? So, and I think I really, even myself, I've had health issues for the past year, so that's why I had to, lose all this weight and do all this stuff
Yep.
and protect my circadian rhythm and all this crazy stuff
Come
that
on.
I'm doing right now and eating freaking almonds all day. I never did that, like eating vitamins, and cutting stuff out just because I need to. This is again, they say it's a marathon, not a race, but at the same time, a lot of people sprint this marathon, so
Yes.
sort of had to take back. Anyways, we're getting a little bit emotional right now. I just wanted to get on that topic, but and we can move on now. Let's get
No,
into
that's
something light, man. What's the what tell us one funny, man. Tell us one funny or surprising thing you saw agents do this AEP.
Bro, listen, number one, people need what we're talking about. They need it. They need it because either they're guilty of disassociating and just trying to act like everything's okay,
Yeah.
or they're raging out, right? I agree with you, but I'll skip it if you want to skip it. So let's go into something funny.
We can
Bro,
come back to it.
funniest thing? Do what? No,
We
you're
can come
okay.
back to it.
Funny things I saw in AEP. Bro, I was not prepared for that question. I like, I don't know, man. Give me an example. We'll run from there. What did you see that was funny?
This AEP,
Oh
what
yeah.
I saw that agents were doing, uh, what was,
Panicking,
I
like
mean,
Chicken Little that the world's falling.
yep,
Look at any of
yep.
the forums, any of them,
Well,
bro.
I thought it was funny that a lot of people were just venting about things that I don't know. Maybe it's just like obvious things, but it's like it doesn't help the situation, guys. Like,
No,
let's focus on what actually makes you money and let's focus on what's gonna be efficient. Um, there's just been a lot of complaining this year, and I get it. It's if it's validated in terms of, everything happening in life. I get it, but it's just like I'm gonna, rat on this agent for doing this. I'm like, that doesn't make you any money. That doesn't do it, the industry any
right,
good. And
right,
and social media, people just going wild on there, right? Just talking about this and that, and the sky's falling. I get why they would think that, but some of the posts that I've seen, I'm like, guys, let's get it together. It's even we're all professionals here, right? And complaining about something that just has to do with nothing in certain instances really doesn't help out. That's one trend that I was seeing. I didn't know you were gonna flip the question back to me here, but I would say it was just a lot of panicking, and like I said, some panicking was
yeah.
validated with commissions. But I'm like, you're not even licensed in that state. What are you complaining about?
It's funny.
It's like, right?
Bro,
And I'm like, come on,
you
man.
believe what they're doing
Um,
in Minnesota. You live in Alabama.
yeah, yeah. It's like, oh yeah,
No,
they,
I understand.
yeah, Idaho is doing this right now, and I was like, dude, you're in California. Like, let's just figure out what California is doing, you know? Um, Let me ask you this. I mean, you survived more AEPs than some people survive marriages.
Oh, bro,
How are you still standing?
bro, that is an interesting take, and you're probably right. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if most people make it 10 years. Yeah. So, what was my take on this AEP? So, it was a lot of change. We still have, listen, Medicare's not going anywhere. Okay. Medicare is one of the best things in this country. And let me tell you something. I am ultra conservative in a lot of my beliefs, not everywhere, but a lot of my beliefs. And I love Medicare. I love Social Security, but I love Medicare also because of what it brings to the table, right? Super proponent for it. And it's not going anywhere. It would be political suicide for someone to try and get rid of Medicare because almost a third of the voting population is on Medicare, right? It'd be just insane to make that decision. It's not reality, is what I'm saying. That's not coming down the pipe. But on top of that, that foundation, there has been a lot of shaking, and there's going to continue to be a lot of shaking. Really started about 2 years ago with the IRA. So what the Inflation Reduction Act did for Part D in general has done a lot of shaking for agents. But you said something good earlier about that's not what you should focus on, what you can't control. You should focus on what you can control. And the agents who were successful or who will continue being successful are the ones who are like water. So was it Jackie Chan, Bruce
Bruce Lee,
Lee, be
baby.
like water? Yeah, right. So let me use it in a different example. Be like water in that whatever container you're poured in, you fill, right? Not like some big rock that can't fit in certain containers or the square
Mm.
that can't go in the circle hole or the circle that can't go in the triangle hole. Be like water. Whatever container you're poured in, you fit to that container. Those are the people who are doing great. So I'll give you an example. I'm not so hot at that being water thing, right? Sometimes I'm the square hole not fitting in that circle hole, and I get real mad that I'm not fitting in it. But it doesn't matter how I feel or how I appropriate that thing. I have to fit in the circle hole. So I need to shave off the things that are keeping me from doing it. Anyways, what I'm getting at is this, because that was a lot of metaphors to get to this. Man, the agents who were able to bounce back successfully and the quickest are the ones that could shift from, well, number one, let me reset, pause, hold that thought. The agents who were collectively selling more than one product had the easiest way when comp was cut on Part D, when comp has been cut on several of the Part Cs, right? They had the easiest bounce back because it was nothing for them to go ahead and transition to, I've already been selling annuities, I've already been selling ancillary products, I've already been selling, I don't know, maybe AUM, whatever game that you're in. They had the easiest adjustment because they had already decided before this happened, I'm not going to be a one pony show, right? I'm not only going to have one iron in the fire or only able to do one product. I'm going to open myself up to help more people with more products. And that's probably the biggest learning, should be, at least in my opinion, one of the biggest learning curves I hope agents took on this year is that they no longer became a one pony show. So I work for a carrier who specializes with Medigap and ancillary, but specifically Medigap. Can't tell you how many people reached out to us, especially right before AEP, saying, hey, my shop does MA only. My state, because there's several states, my state is not compensating for any regular HMO or PPO right now. D-SNP, C-SNP only, maybe. I need to learn MedSup. Can you help me? Well, yeah, I'll take time out of my life to help you because I get paid for that. But you get my point. If you, I got some frustrations with people who only sell MA or only sell Meds Up. That's beyond my point. The agents who were qualified in more than one area, they're the future agent. They're the ones who will continue to grow in this moment. I'm sorry if you can hear my kid coughing in the background. He got sick this weekend.
Oh man.
But those are the agents that we should strive to be like, at least in this industry, that when a setback hits, listen, what if universal health care became the law of the land? And the federal government struck something that says, I'll give you an example. In California, what member are you going to write a cancer plan to if they're 65 or older in California today?
64,
None.
turning 65.
65 and older, who are you going to write it to? You got a 70-year-old, never been diagnosed with cancer. What cancer plan are you going to put them on if they live
Can't,
in the state of California?
cannot.
Not going to. Why? Because the state DOI forbids it if they're
Yep,
65 or older from purchasing a new cancer plan, right? So
yep,
let's say the federal government comes in and strikes some law that says private insurance is now illegal in every state. What are you going to do? So private Medicare supplements, private MA plans, they're now legal in every state. What are you going to do? Well, I hope you've already shifted to where you can write ancillary, you can write annuities, you can write AUM, you can write life insurance, things that hold hands with your current license, or your current license will help you, enable you to access something else like maybe AUM, maybe a series license. Anyways, my point is this. If you're currently a one dog show, one pony show, it's time to assess where you're at and grow. Because if you don't grow, you are one legislation passing from losing your income completely. I'll give you an example in Texas. Texas, and we're not talking about the DUI, we're talking about legislation. Texas passed legislation 9-1 that anyone in the state of Texas offering a Medicare supplement has to offer it Plan G, there were several med subs, so I use Plan G specific, has to offer a Plan G to someone under 65 with a diagnosis of ALS or ESD, and they can't charge a premium that's more than two times what the current turning 65 premium is. That announcement comes out, five or six carriers leave immediately. Well, what if that carrier was your go-to carrier? And now here you go. You've got people lined up, you've got appointments lined up, and you're not writing anybody else. That's a problem. And that's what we saw in the MA world with a lot of commission that was cut. And now an agent wants to write a policy that they get paid on, which I understand. I'm not knocking an agent who doesn't want to write a non-compensatable plan. I'm not knocking them, or I'm not for them or against them. Let me just say it that way. I understand both sides of the picture. But those agents weren't ready to transition somewhere else because they didn't even know where to begin. They had no basic education even on Medigap with traditional Medicare. Just every what do they say? If you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. You get what I'm saying by that? If all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Well, sometimes you got a screwdriver and you need a flathead, or maybe you need a Phillips head for this unique situation. And that's really how the insurance world is. Not everyone's Medicare eligible. So what are you going to sell someone who's 30 who's not Medicare eligible if all you have is MedSup and MA in your back pocket? Well, you're not, right? You're not. So you need to learn the ACA world. I would suggest you even need to learn plans, short-term medical. I would say you need to learn plans that are comparable to ACA, but maybe aren't considered insurance, like subsidy plans. Anyways, that was like 5 minutes of me talking.
No,
You
that's
should talk.
good. And Saul's 5 minute. So yeah, it's I agree, you got to be a jack of all trades in a sense, and you can't just stick with one kind of, so most of the people that I know are successful are looking into other ventures, right? You're not really looking into just sticking with something traditional when
Correct.
legislation is on you, right? So it's funny, I just got off a training with my team, and I was just talking about diversifying, right? And just did a full training on cross-selling, right? On ACA policy since tis the season right now. So it's you can make as much money as you want in the sector that you're good at, but again, this is the year of change. If you're not
Yeah.
changing, the government's going to change on you, and then all of a sudden you're left without. You're going to be one of those people in those Facebook groups complaining about whatever's
Come
happening,
on.
right? So
Come
I completely agree with that, and of course these are all cousin products. So at the same time, it's not going to be all you need is somebody to teach you this kind of stuff and have the willingness to learn and then pivot, right? All the people that have been here for 40 some odd years, generations in the business and what have you, have all pivoted at one point, right? How much did the Medicare world change in the past 30
Yeah.
years, right? I mean, come on, like, right? And
Right.
same with health insurance in general, right? I was just talking about with another agent yesterday when we were driving to dinner about how underwriting was for health insurance, right? And like I was just explaining to him because he's in the PNC world. I was explaining to him like what ACA, like what's happening with ACA right now is like I didn't even know the background story and all this stuff, but I just know that the premiums are high, right? So, and I was like, yeah, back then they did, blood draws and it's like life insurance style, just to sort of put it into PNC words, right? And try to walk them through that and just try to get them into another just not train, but like just tell them that there's other opportunities. And so
Yeah.
I completely agree with that. You know what I mean? I I definitely had you on to walk Californians also through Physicians Mutual's
Yeah.
products. Now, I know that dental is the core product here, and what's interesting about dental is that there's no limits on the dental products in California. Can you go more into that?
Yeah. Right after you tell me, where did you go eat with your buddy? Did y'all get
We
some
went
Korean
to we
barbecue?
went to Korean barbecue.
Was it hot
You know how
pot?
it goes. It was okay, so that's so funny you bring that up. I grilled
Bring up.
I grilled Andrew Saul. Grilled is a funny word too. Um, that about him having Korean barbecue, and he posted on Facebook. And I'm a Korean barbecue aficionado. If you guys know me, you know that's my love language. And my love language food. And
Mm.
he's like,
You
I'm
took
having Korean
Emily.
barbecue for
That's
He's
so,
like, I'm having Korean barbecue for the first time. I'm like, brother, that's hot pot, man. That's hot pot.
bro, I didn't know.
And that's sort of an inside joke between us. But yeah, of course we did Korean barbecue. You got to come out and get Korean barbecue with me when you're in LA. And
That's
I
true.
gotta,
That's true.
we gotta make this happen,
All right.
man.
Product in California. So we had Medigap in California. California's got some unique rules. We tried to get our patented plan passed. We used to have our patented plan there. Then they decided to tell us they didn't want us to have that plan anymore. Opened a new block of business. Didn't approve our innovative plan. Second time haven't approved our innovative plan. We're filing a third time. So we'll see if the commissioner approves it this time. If they don't, we still got dental there. Yeah, dental's fantastic. So the way our dental plan works in the state of California is, you're right, we have no annual max on any covered service. So you're probably used to dental plans with a $1,500 max, 2,500, 3,500. I think Cigna and Manhattan have a 5,000. NCD's got a 10,000. We have no annual max in any covered service, and we have no deductible. We're day one, dollar one on anything billed preventive and day one, dollar one on anything billed basic in California. We do have a waiting period on major, and we don't waive that waiting period. It's a 12-month waiting period for major, but major does include root canals, crowns, bridges, full upper dentures, lower dentures, partials, pontics, implants, endodontic work, periodontal work, no braces, no night guards, no Invisalign. So if you need that, we're probably not the dental plan for you, though we could be for other things. But yeah, bro, it's fantastic. Operates to, you can go to any dentist in the nation, but we lease the Emeritus network. So if you're familiar with that network, it's 800,000 or so strong right now across the nation. You can go anywhere, but if you stick to that network, because we lease it from Emeritus, we're going to give you a discount. Discount average is about 36% per covered procedure, but you can go anywhere. My wife and I, we have the dental. She had like three crowns, a tooth pulled, exams, x-rays, and she had a bone graft. It was horrific, right? Anyways, total out of pocket for all that work with our dental plan and being in network was less than $1,000. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And that's our experience. Might not be your experience, but that's our experience. Because we found a dentist who participated with the network and was just a great dentist out here in Fort Worth, Texas. Anyone lives out here, his name's Dr. Ariachea at Ballard Dentistry. Anyways, that was my prop for him. But yeah, it's a fabulous plan. Good comp, good coverage. Andrew Lee's going to take one just because he's on here with me now. And love it, bro. Love it.
Yeah, I mean the no cap part is that's wild.
Unreal.
Yeah. So I feel like people needed to know at the very least what's out there. And again, this is a very interesting aspect of the dental world.
Yeah.
The no cap.
Yes. I agree. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, hopefully the Med Sup comes back to California. We're running out of options here. Man, that's
Bro, well, you are, because you got some unique DOI rules in California. Not as
right.
bad as New York. New York, Connecticut,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
they're wild, brother. But yeah, you got some unique rules out there.
Man,
They don't help medical loss ratios. Maybe I word it like that.
that's a whole nother podcast for itself. But yeah, I could just go in and anyways, I want to keep my license. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. Um,
That's a good.
um, all right, cool. Hey, let's go back to the mental health stuff because I think I like that. I think that this is very much not talked about because it's seen as Maybe people can take it some type of way, and again, in a performance-based industry, right?
Yeah.
Well, what's one sign that you can see an agent burning out, but they're ignoring it?
Yeah, so earlier I brought up two examples. The first is disassociation. And usually this fits most people. So disassociation is where you're carrying so much of a load that your goal when you're off work is to just zone out. You don't want to deal with any of it. You don't want to experience any more of it. You don't want to work through any of it. You're just going to zone out. So you get home or you get off work, you leave your computer, however you're working, and you're straight on TikTok all night. And you're just TikToking the whole night. And listen, hear me out. I ain't knocking you. I get it. I dissociate too. Why? Because you can zone out and you don't have to deal with any of these things anymore. You've been heavy lifting all day, right? So disassociation is probably one of what covers most people. The second would be some kind of, you know, real easily irritable. So let me ask you this, bro. Have you ever worked a lot of hours, maybe not got as much sleep, didn't eat very well? Oh, you ever heard of hangry? Sure, you've heard of hangry, right?
Oh, come on.
You know, you remember them old Snicker commercials?
Yeah, you're not you when you're
Ah,
hungry.
you need a Snickers, and then they become super happy, right? So, lashing out in frustration. That's probably a good precursor is not the right word, but it is a precursor.
Yeah,
It's
symptom.
probably
Yeah.
a good, yeah, a good pointer that you're bearing more than you were meant to carry,
Yep.
and you need to deal with it. And there's many ways to deal with it, but you need to deal with it, and whatever works for you, because whatever works for you might not work for me, right?
Yeah.
Um, there's different types of therapy for treating like abuse, like childhood abuse.
Mm-hmm.
One of them's really extreme. It's called EMDR, right? But there's other types of therapy like play therapy. And whatever works for one person might not work for the same person. But I would encourage anyone listening, if you are struggling, if you are, and let me hear you, Lord, let me tell you something. We all are. Hear me very well. Everyone's struggling. Look around. I don't care how impressive someone looks. I don't care how great their Instagram reel is
Yeah.
or what their life coaching looks like. Every single person is struggling in some area. Everybody
Yeah.
is. No one's perfect. No one's living their best life. Nobody is. Everyone's struggling somewhere. But you can grow in maturity to learn a secret. And the secret I would call is contentment. Learning how to be content in life no matter what comes your way and not taking on the responsibility of the burden that people want to put on you. So when you're sitting there at an appointment and someone's throwing either against you or against the plan they're on, and usually what happens is a member will conflate something going wrong with their plan with it being your fault. You ever wrote someone on a ghost network on an MA and you wrote them on the MA during AEP and on the stinking website, that doctor was in network. Lo and behold, next year comes, that doctor's not really in network, and maybe the doctor's not been in network for 2 or 3 years. You ever experienced that one before?
Too much.
Yeah, who did your member get mad at? The doctor or you?
The client.
Yeah, right. They get mad at me. Like it's my fault. I'm just doing
Yeah.
my job and doing the best of my ability.
Yeah.
But when things like that happen and people conflate, a reason that has nothing to do with you, you still have a responsibility not to bear that burden, which kind of sucks that you have to take responsibility not to bear it, but it's true. Because
Yeah.
if you don't, you'll carry it. Let me tell you something. If you carry it, you will absolutely carry it home to your family too. My
Yeah.
dog. This is my puppy. My dog
Hey,
just visited me. Hey, little buddy. This
come
is
on.
Teddy.
Wow, this is the first time having a dog featured on the podcast. This is the first, everybody.
First time. That's Teddy. Teddy's your number one, bro.
Hey,
Little 11-week-old giant schnauzer.
love that, man. Love that. Emotional support dog, since we're talking about this. Um,
That's true. That's true. That's not my therapy, but that's true. I'm
you
sure it
know,
works for some.
man, I'm so happy you talked about therapy. I just started therapy recently. I
Come
never
on.
believed in therapy, and
It's real.
funny enough, and I've never even said this on camera, let alone to my friends in the industry. My close friends know. But yeah, you go to a therapist, and what happens? It's what happened when you're 2, 3, 4 years old, right? Like they start there, right? They go way back. I actually have a therapist appointment in about 3 hours.
Come on.
So they go way back, right? They go into, okay, what are you like? Work can be an addiction, like is addiction a factor, right? And things like that. And we were going over Gabor Mate. I don't know if you guys know who that is. If so, he is amazing with breaking things down. He's the one that broke down like Prince Harry's trauma and why he's
Yeah.
in a situation like where he is right now. That's his claim to fame. But he really was it was a Holocaust survivor. But he wasn't necessarily in the camps. Like his dad disappeared to the camps. His mom was disappeared for a while, so up until he was like 4 years old or something like that. But then he never really experienced the camps. But the trauma after that followed him, right? So that's sort of his basis on trauma, and he does a good job of breaking everything down. He went toe to toe with Jordan Peterson about mental health and saying that he was wrong about certain things. And Jordan Peterson, I believe, sometimes has good intentions, but is wrong about a lot of things. And that's just my opinion. Again, I'm not siding with anybody. But his research really did a number on how I perceive trauma, right? And it does go into irritability. It does go into all these factors. It seeps in. So really identifying that core kind of issue really helped me level things out. Irritability, goodness gracious. During this AEP, I was an irritable mess. Like I can self-proclaim that, or proclaim. I can self-diagnose that. I was irritable, right? And it's just there's a lot going on, and I laid off social media to like to
Fabulous
talk
idea.
about that information because nobody needs to hear about that except for me to work on, right? So I've gone through a pretty good transformation, and I'm still a work in progress, but I've gone through a transformation where that's why I had to work on my diet, that's why I had to work on my circadian rhythm and sleeping, that's why I had to work on a lot of things that factor into, I realized gut health is mind health, right? So I had to really lock into omega 3s and eating salmon every
Yeah.
day and stuff like that. And it's boring stuff. Almonds, I was saying, is pretty boring, but it really helps with coping, right? Because there's some certain things that you just can't help and you can't control. So what can you control? That kind of stuff, right? So, I mean, the word discipline can mean different things to a lot of people, but for me, it is one of the most important words in my life right now that I have to be disciplined, right? Because if I don't have this certain discipline, then it seeps into other aspects of my life, right? And now that I am doing this kind of stuff and I'm getting more help and and I did my best to people don't like to be told what to do, especially in this industry with a bunch of alphas, right? But I try to do my best to spread mental health awareness and just the little things that really get people, um, treating people the wrong way, irritability again, and just something that's not conducive to a healthy environment. Now, mind you, this was all at once during a historic, crazy, busy season with a bunch of stuff that is not our fault, right? And that's what Gabor Mate says. It's not your fault, right? It's the Robin
Yeah.
Williams scene with Matt Damon and Good Will Hunting, right? It's it's all of that, right? It's not your fault that this stuff is happening to you. It's not your fault, right? But how do you work on that? Is just having these habits, like you were saying, just being disciplined in certain aspects of your life, and it is just what it is. For me, religion ha helped out a lot, right? Laying at the feet of your higher power, right? And anxiety is in the Bible. I mean, it's my religion. Anxiety, there's a whole verse about do not be anxious, right?
Be anxious.
There's wisdom in things that we don't know, right? So there's also, I tap into the spiritual side about that, and then of course I had to get real world help, right? So that's where the therapist
Yeah.
came in, and it's just you just sort of have to work these things out. And again, nobody talks about this in this industry, right? So I'm glad we are talking about this. Um,
Nobody. Yeah, you're right. I don't think I've ever heard it. You're right.
yeah. And let me ask you this. Now, on a professional level, then, how should agencies support their agents with mental health?
Man, that's a really good word. And it probably differs between whether you are an agency owner and you're only really what the agent's looking for is training and access to technology, or if you're like an in-house LOA shop, which you have employees, right? I could see two different realities there, though it would be great if all of them gave access to something of that nature. So the guy you're talking about, Gabor, what's his name?
Gabor. Last name is Mate, I believe, if I got the spelling right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll YouTube him.
Jamie,
Sounds
pull it
like,
up. I wish I had a Jamie.
yeah, oh, bro. Bro, yeah, you're right. Yeah, Jamie, pull it up. Then we'll get into the UFC and all the cool things that all the crazy things they talk about on that show. This is Joe Rogan show if nobody knew. Anyways, yeah, so that would be super cool if I can LOA shop one of the perks, or even as a business, man, like a carrier, if one of the perks were something with therapy. I don't know if it's realistic that
Yeah.
that all LOA shops could afford to hire a full-time therapist or
Right.
have a therapist on call, right? But something like a program that you could go through. Listen, let me say this. I'm not against or for Dave Ramsey, okay? Neither against him nor am I for him. But I like what he does in that he has a simple program for the masses that can understand to help get them out of debt. Once again, I'm neither for or against it. Okay. Don't really have an opinion because I've not done it. So I'm telling you, I'm neither for or against it. However, I like that idea. And can you imagine if not just corporations, but LOA shops to their agents because they have to understand the stress an agent undergoes.
Yeah.
They have to get it, right? Because they've lived it.
Yeah.
Had something like a Dave Ramsey book or a podcast or videos that they could watch where it walks them through how to not just accept the stress and deal with it, but let me give you a better word, how to properly deal with the stressors in this industry. Man,
Mm.
I think that would be invaluable. Because you're right, anybody talking about it. When's the last
Yeah.
time you went to a conference and the keynote speaker got on stage and wanted to walk you through how to identify and deal with past hurt that you're processing to this day, and you are outwardly self-sabotaging yourself on appointments because of your past hurt? I've never heard it. Never heard that. The key speakers are always trying to, well, let me back up. Key speakers sometimes are trying to sell you a product. Or if they're not trying to sell your product, they're trying to teach you in the industry that you're in. And I get that. Listen, completely get that. But to be fair, every industry could use something like therapy. So it would be cool if there was a conference or there was
A
something
retreat,
that
an actual
agents go
retreat,
to
an actual
and like a
mastermind that
retreat
masters
that
your
they could
mind.
go to that was about inner healing. That was about dealing with the things that continue to resurface in your life that either causes some kind of destruction, self-sabotage, inner hurt that you can't get away from, disassociation, or lashing out at people, and a plethora of other things. That would be cool, man.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
Yeah. And if you can redesign AEP to be healthier for agents, what would you change?
I'd get rid of scopes. I don't know how much healthier agents would be, but I
Hey,
think that
let's
would
go.
help.
I
I do
agree.
think there's a bit of an anxiety about scopes for an agent who wants to do the right thing.
Yeah.
I've ran into it several times with many agents who want to do the right thing, who just have this anxiety about recording and about scopes because they're afraid they're going to say the wrong thing and they're going to spend the rest of their life in prison because they said the wrong thing, which, people can jump to an extreme. I understand. I understand. Let's see. How would I make AEP healthier? Man, bro. I would tell agents if you're getting calls past 6 p.m. and you're not in a place, let me just say it how I want to say it. This
I
isn't
know
going
what
to
you're
fit
saying.
everyone,
I know what you're saying.
so please don't judge me, okay? Because this is not going to fit everyone, all right? I'm making that statement before I say what I'm about to say. There is no emergency in Medicare during AEP that can't wait till Monday. If it's Sunday and you're at church, if it's Saturday and you're at temple, if it's Friday night and you're at your kid's football game, and agents are, or not agents, sorry, if members are blowing your phone up and you're getting angry text, there is no medical emergency in Medicare that can't wait till the next week. You can't give me one. Well, my member's at the hospital and they want to know if their plan's going to pay. That can wait till Monday.
Mm.
You don't even know what the process is. Are they inpatient? Are they outpatient? Have they been admitted? Do they have prior authorization? No, you don't know any of that. They can wait till Monday. Well, my member can't find their Part D drug card. Well, they can log on to Medicare.gov and see what it is. Okay? They can do that, right? So I think if I could get rid of the anxiety of agents who think they have to be the mother to their children members. I think that's something I would get rid of. The anxiety where an agent thinks they have to mother or father their members because you don't. They're grown up. Quit parting someone's mustache to breastfeed them, right? So that they can get a little milk in their mouth. Your members need to grow up. And
Uh,
I think if you can grab hold of that, I think that, especially me when I first started, I took care of everything. I was on vacation, I'd answer the phone for one of my members. And to be fair, I do it for my agents, which I'm probably talking out of both sides of my mouth, but it is what it is. I love my
yeah.
agents, just like you love
Right.
your
I mean,
members.
because everybody talks about the supporting side, the business side, right? I mean, let's talk about the other side of the coin, which is also reality as well, too.
Correct. But any agent who was mistreating me or wouldn't take responsibility for themselves, I would put them off till I was ready to handle it. And if it's a Saturday night and I'm doing something special and I don't want to answer the phone because I'm in the middle of engaging with my spouse or my child or my friends, at some point you come first. Do you understand what I mean by that? At some point, I'm not saying you can't serve people, but at some point, even in serving, you have to be filled up before you can pour out. So I think there's a place where there needs to be boundaries between an agent and a member, healthy boundaries, right? And we can go too far in either direction, but a healthy boundary that works for you, because what works for you might not work for me and vice versa. Yeah, that's what I would do to make AEP healthy. That's what I would do right there.
Nice. Nice. I like that, man. Let's do this. Rapid fire questions.
Ooh, what's your favorite color?
I was gonna ask you, but about the mental health topic. But my favorite color, blue, baby. Let's go,
Color animal.
Dodgers. Come
Animal.
on.
What's your favorite color animal?
Oh, a dolphin, because it's blue, baby. Come on. Come on. Right? Dolphins. Sonar. Smartest
Dolphins
animal in
and
the
the
ocean. Come on. Come on. Coffee or
Dutch.
energy drinks during AEP or none?
Oh, bro. So I used to be addicted to Red Bull. Like addicted. Like I made slushies, Red Bull slushies. Let me tell you, one of the best things I've ever had. And if you've never had a Red Bull, don't start. But if you're gonna start, that first drink, bro, you're not gonna like it, but it bites you. I
That
don't know another
taurine,
way to
dog. That taurine.
dude, dude, that taurine bites you, man, and you got to come back for more. I had to give them up because I was having heart palpitations. But yeah, you know how it is.
Me
So if
too.
I was gonna do it, I would do tea. Neither Red Bull nor coffee. I like tea.
Bro, just the non-caffeinated teas have saved my
Tell me about
life.
it.
Literally like
Tell
life.
me about it.
Chamomile. Awesome, right?
Yeah.
Herbal teas before I go to sleep. Awesome, right? I do the whole no blue light thing for an hour. And if
Oh,
I
come on.
do and I'm doom scrolling, then I'm done. My nerves are cooked in the morning, right?
Awesome.
But if I'm doing herbal tea and magnesium with calcium,
Yeah.
I'm out. You know what I mean? So
Bro, you found your cheat.
that's yeah, that's the good stuff right there, man.
That's your
That's a stat.
biologic cheat code, man.
Biological cheat code, man. Vitamins and
Hack
tea.
yourself, bro. If you can hack yourself, then you know what you need.
Yep. There we go. What's one marketing trend that agents should ignore?
Oh, bro, creating your own website. Let me tell you something. I don't know if I said that and hurt anybody's feelings. So let me explain. Because I preach this gospel, and this is my opinion. Do whatever you want with it. If websites worked, carriers would have no need of you because everyone would just log into a carrier's website and self-enroll. If websites work, that's all you would need. So, do your thing.
That's
Okay.
man, that's a good take right there. Um, what's uh what's a favorite booth location you've ever seen?
Booth? No, no, hate booths.
Okay.
When I first signed on, over a decade ago, I was sitting in Walgreens, nothing. Walmart, nothing. And now you may be at some high traffic area and it's great for you, but the vast majority of agents that I see get suckered into it's not the right word, but you understand what I'm trying to say. So if you don't like that word, use a different word. Suckered into it are newer agents who experience it and don't re-sign up the next year because it's not worth your time. There's way more valuable places to put your time than
Yep.
sitting in some booth, hoping and praying that the person who comes by isn't 85, wanting you to just run their drug plan and just talk. That's, that's not going to go
Man.
well with some people.
Well,
So
here's the
yeah,
thing.
you
I
keep doing
mean,
it. It worked for
from
me.
I've seen some people that crush it in the multicultural market, right? But for the
Sure.
most part, it's not built for everybody, and I totally get that. And
Mhm.
that's why on the topic of mental health, if you're draining all this energy and you're like, "What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me?" And there's a reason why I wanted to ask this question. Then if you're in that status, then you should probably move on to another marketing source,
Find something that works because there's a lot more profitable areas for most people.
right? Um, what's one phrase agents use that make you cringe?
Oh, man. Well, several come to me, right? Probably the top phrase that agents say that make me cringe is, how do I do this after I've trained them, given them every opportunity in the world to come to training, and they're so busy they can't come. And I'm sure there is someone out there who is so busy with appointments that they can't come to training. But when I have agents that are writing, I don't know, 90 to 100 policies a month for me as a carrier, and they can make time for training, I really struggle to believe you can't make time for training when you're doing 3 policies a week, 7 policies a week. You get what? Now, listen, I ain't knocking no one because we all have our own sphere that we're comfortable in. But yeah, it bothers me when I give you every training possible, even offer one-on-one training. You can't make it and then you don't know how to write a policy. And you call me at 9 p.m. on Saturday, like I had several people during AEP on Sunday asking how to get this through. And if I can help you, I'll help you. If I can't help you, man, I give you every chance.
Hmm.
Every chance, brother. I'm sure there's ones worse than that, but that's the one that comes to me that cringes right now.
All right. Last one. If AEP were a movie genre, what would it be?
Oh, bro. It depends on who you are. I think
My
some
answer is a
agents would,
rom-com.
okay, okay, that's perfect. So rom-com. Some would say horror. I think some would say thriller. I think some would say action. Some would say drama. Some would say a bore because they didn't get anything or they didn't work it correctly. For me, AEP every year is a intense, not like drama or action. It's just something that man, what's the right word? It's like maybe movie genre isn't the way I would view it. I would view it like one of those old 1600 Beethoven themes that pick up like keeps getting faster, like Flight of the Bumblebees. Who did Flight of the
Oh,
Bumblebees?
like Uncut Gems. Who's the Safdie brothers or something, or like a Paul Thomas Anderson movie?
Not seen it, but maybe
Okay.
so. Whoever wrote Fly
Maybe
the
that's
Bumblebees
I'm a
was
cinephile. My
AEP.
bad.
Just keeps up. Just keeps running.
Yeah, Uncut Gems, Adam Sandler, that one movie where it's just like it's just too much at the end.
Oh yeah, he's a jeweler on New
Yep,
York Diamond
exactly. And
Street
it's
or
just
something.
too
I've seen.
much. The whole movie's too much.
There you go. Yeah, all right. I like that.
I like the Flight of the Bumblebees too. That is exactly what it is. And it's like, okay, and then you
So,
get to the end and it's like, or Stairway to Heaven or whatever you want to call it.
yeah.
Um Free Bird, right? Um
Something.
All right, man. We got about okay, so I'm gonna be respectful of your time here. So um just on a serious note here, what separates top producers from average producers?
Oh, bro,
What's the
work
one
ethic.
factor?
Yeah, without a doubt, work ethic, number one.
Okay.
The top producer not only, oh man, my wife's got such a good saying. Let me take it back. Let me give you the way she words it. She says the only people in this industry that lose are the ones who quit. If you don't quit, you'll win. And I have seen that for 90 plus percent. Now, there are people that you just weren't built for this. Listen, you were built for a W-2 job somewhere. You were built to start a different industry. You weren't built for this. But 90 plus percent of the people in this industry who quit too soon. And had they kept going, they would have been successful. It's I don't want to say it's almost impossible. It's hard not to be successful in this industry if you keep going because eventually the thing avalanches, right? You write one person who now their spouse turns 65, who refers you to a friend who's got a cousin, who's got a brother, who's got a pastor, who's got an elder. You get the point. Eventually, your members become a bell cow for you. Is that too country of language for you? Do you know what a bell cow is?
I get what it means, but yeah.
Roll Tide, Alabama, let's go.
Yeah.
So eventually your people become that cow out there with the bell ding-a-linging, telling everybody about Andrew Lee, right? So in my experience, for most people, and I mean the vast majority that don't make it in this industry, it's because they quit too soon.
Mhm.
They would have been successful.
I agree.
What
I
about
agree.
you? I want to hear your thought.
I
This is a good
mean,
question.
I mean that's the famous saying in the industry, right? If you can't lose if you don't quit, or if you just stick with it long enough, you build relationships, you build just a lot of good things happen to you if people see that you're actually trying and making an effort, and there's production along the way. But some people don't find their way even for like 5 years, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen people like 5 years, right? And all of a sudden they struck gold on something, and all
Yeah.
of a sudden they're producing 150 during the AEP, and then all of a sudden it's like, what happened? It's like, oh, I implemented this marketing that's new and that resonated with them, that was newer, as opposed to the old ways where they were just not pounding doors and doing
Putting
organic
ads in the
marketing.
newspaper, buddy.
What was that?
They were putting ads in the newspaper
Yeah,
because that used
exactly. You know what I'm saying? They're just doing old school things, and then all of a sudden something that came along, maybe an AI or something like that, resonated with them, or
to
just something clicked all of a sudden after all this
multiply.
failure. I mean, Byron Golden on YouTube is one guy that I would resonate with because that guy, he said he was not doing anything. He started off as a garbage man. Now he's millions and millions of dollars rich, and for 5 years he was just a late bloomer. And there's a lot of industry people that are late bloomers, right?
Yep.
And all of a sudden find their way after year five, even, right? And then they just sort of been
Yep.
hanging around. But at the very least, they did not quit. They did not
Right.
quit. So I completely agree with you on that, right? What separates a top producer from an average producer? I mean, really, yeah, it's work ethic, and it's the Mamba mentality. It's that gun to your head or nobody eats, that kind of mentality, the pursuit of happiness, right? Just sort of that, I have 600 bucks in my bank account. Let me spend 400 on ads because I believe in myself.
Yeah.
Belief.
You believe in yourself.
Yeah. Right.
That's a
And
good.
then that coincides with work ethic, because if you believe in yourself, you're not going to pound the pavement doing nothing. You're going to pound the pavement because you believe that you're going to do something.
Yeah.
What's one skill every agent should master this year,
Mm,
2026?
mm. You want like ethereal or you want like a generic what
Let's
you
go
should learn?
both in a short kind of.
Yeah. Ethereal, I would say what I said earlier. The best secret I have found is the secret of contentment. That no matter what happens in your life, you're content.
Mm,
Whether you win or whether you lose, you're not moved. You're like a man, okay, so you're not a roller coaster, right? Roller coasters go up and down, and around and over, okay? You're like a train. Trains don't go over, under, or around mountains. They go through mountains, right? They cut holes literally through mountains so trains can go through it. But you're content. You're just like a train. You're going. You're not up, you're not down, no matter what comes your way. I'm not saying you can't have emotions. I'm not saying emotions are bad. I'm saying emotions will lie to you if you're not careful. They will tell you to believe things that are not true. Give an example. Have you ever heard maybe a little gossip, or have you ever heard that someone's talking bad about you or someone said something ugly about you and you were mad at that person for saying it? And then the truth came out, and that person really didn't say something about you, or it was a misunderstanding. Someone didn't understand what they really meant. And instantly, all that emotion of anger you had towards that person leaves you because it turns out they really weren't talking bad about you. You ever had that experience?
of course.
Bro, because emotions will lie to you. You can't
Yep.
buy them. You
Yep.
can't believe them. You can't
Yep.
accept them. I'm not saying don't go with a gut feeling. I'm saying don't buy into emotion because it's not real. You should dictate your emotions. And it's by that secret. It's the secret of contentment. You've learned to be content in all things, rich or poor, weak or strong, in health, out of health. You get the idea. Number one, number one. That's my first one. And really buy into covenant. If you make covenants, like with your spouse, you keep your covenants. I believe that too. So your word, okay? That's my theory one. Realistically or generically, what should you learn? You should learn AI. Should absolutely the best you can learn as much as you can about any kind of chat GPT, Grok, Google's, learn how it can help you, learn how it can create emails, learn how it can set up responses, learn how it can operate your daily life, and then learn social media. So probably technology and social media would be my big ones.
1000% agree. Hence why we're on, right? And I mean, there's so much to learn with AI. Guys, there's 21 days in a month right now, and 2026, everybody's going to be on board. So right
Yes.
now, you can make yourself powerful. I know you guys have seen the ads and all that, but in 1 week, you can make yourself powerful just by learning and immersing in AI.
Yeah.
That has changed how I do things. That has changed, I don't want to say that. I mean, but it really has changed a lot of things in my life, right? And
Do you
it's
use AI to craft your questions on here?
yeah, I do AI for everything.
And they
I
were
do
good, bro.
I do
Telling you,
AI for
good.
everything,
Telling
right?
you.
Now, I mean, I mean, even just video editing, things like that, and just delegating my life, right?
Yeah.
Delegating my life.
Be
It's it,
careful
it
because,
it's yeah, you got to learn this stuff, and I
bro, I
went through
love
a
to
lot.
see the posts sometimes on Facebook or other social medias. And like the very top thing it says is, well, I won't say that one. We'll call out who it is. The very bottom thing they accidentally copy and pasted their post is, would you like
Would you
this in a
like this?
different? Then you know, bro, you know. You ever heard of dead internet theory?
No,
Bro, dead internet theory is that eventually we're going to get so enveloped in AI, we're going to create an idea with AI that we copy and post to social media, to which someone responds by putting your post in AI on how to respond. And they respond to that with AI, which responds with AI, and it's just a bunch of AI talking back and forth when we've lost the human connection.
man.
So it is what it
Man,
is.
that's like we got Waymos, which are like the self-driving cars
Bro,
in LA, and I think it was Theo Vaughn that said this. Is like, man, this one time I saw a bunch of Waymos just in the parking lot, just plotting world, and they're just talking to each other, talking about how they can kill people.
it's
Uh,
awesome.
but that's
Just
worse comes to
awesome.
worse. AI has it's transforming my business right now, right? And there's just so much opportunity. I'm not even gonna say money, opportunity to make changes in your business in your life with AI. What's one last question here? What's one advice you would give to new agents that are trying to get their footing?
Oh yeah, man. So consume as much content you can in whatever industry you're in, especially YouTube, because it's all free content. In my experience, I want to make this very clear. This is my experience because I don't know who's listening and who does these things. In my experience, everything you want is out there for free. Everything you want is out there for free on YouTube. Now, you can pay to fast track some of that learning. But if you don't have an income from it for it, like when I started, I didn't. I had no income for it. Everything you want is out there for free on YouTube. You can pay to fast track it, but you can learn everything you want on YouTube for free. So that's my encouragement. Digest as much as you can. And then you'll learn to spot the real from the fake. You'll learn it.
Man, this has been Ansol's 1 hour, man. That was a lot of good information there. You crushed it. And I mean, again, a lot of valuable information from, again, ethereal perspectives and also just something that it was on the top of mind. That's why I wanted to get you on.
Word.
That people really do need to hear, right? And especially these days, the world's not getting any easier, right? Again, seasoned vets like us, it's we want to keep moving forward. It's just sometimes there's going to be roadblocks in the way. There's going to be younger guns coming in, right? So there just has to be this conversation for people who are struggling right now, or people who want to get to the next level, or for people who just want to hang on because we've been doing this for too long, right? And we're just sort of like in a gray area of like, all right, we're doing well. It's just like, what's the point, right? I
Took it.
don't know if that's getting too deep as well too, but it's like, what's the point?
No, it's a good word.
If right, I mean, so it's good that you touched on topics of family, mental health, everything all together, man. That was golden, man. I appreciate your time, brother, and this is a great interview.
Bro, thank you, man. Andrew. Thank you,
Yeah.
Andrew.
Yep. Andrew Squared, baby. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully, this was helpful. And of course, like and subscribe. We love that. And if this was helpful, comment, right? And you can comment on a burner account if you don't want to, because we know me and Saul pretty much know
Anonymous.
everybody in the industry here. So if you want to just comment and say, hey, this is what I'm going through, no judgment on my end because I completely empathize, right? I completely empathize with what's happening. So, Yeah, Andrew Saul, appreciate your time and thanks for the interview.
Love you, buddy. Thank you, my friend. See you, bro.